Good morning, and welcome to a celebration of the life and legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. We thank you for being with us today for this powerful gathering, a chance to come together as a community in solidarity, appreciation, and reflection on how we are keeping Dr. King's ideals alive, to make the promises of a democracy real. You're in the right place today. Thanks to you, our partners, for today's events, and all the participants as well. What a beautiful expression of unity through presentations, music, dance, and expressive performances. These annual celebrations of Dr. King's legacy are important, not simply to reflect on the life and work of a great man who led a movement that moved this nation forward exponentially. Not only to remember Dr. King and the civil rights movement for the work that was accomplished in the fight against segregation, poverty, and war. Not just to memorialize a man of God who 53 years ago this year was killed for what he stood for. Those are all reasons to come together every year on or around Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday. But the real reason we are here is that the work that was begun in the civil rights movements of the 1950s and 1960s is not yet finished. Disparities still exist between white and black indigenous people of color in terms of education levels, poverty levels, and opportunity levels. The disparities still exist and continue to grow in our country between the poor and the wealthy, regardless of race. Equality of civil and economic rights has not yet been achieved for all Americans. And acts of anti-black, anti-immigrant, and anti-Semitic aggression have increased dramatically over the last year. That is why we are here today, because of the work of Dr. King and the other great leaders of the civil rights movement, and it's not yet done. As a great hometown, we are committed to transform lives through education, programs, and community engagement. We are committed to expand educational opportunities to students of all socioeconomic, religious, ethnic, and racial backgrounds, to provide our youth with experiences that inspires, informs, and prepares them for the world in a manner that allows them to access to a full and meaningful life, including one of economic security. In the last major speech that Dr. King gave on April 3, 1968 in Memphis, Tennessee, the night before he was assassinated, he implored his followers with the following: "Let us rise up tonight with a greater readiness. Let us stand with a greater determination. And let us move on these powerful days, these days of challenge, to make America what it ought to be." We have an opportunity to make America a better nation. At this time each year, we reflect and we remember and recommit to continue Dr. King's work, as he challenged us to do our part to make America a better nation. And in our case, make Wellington a better community. Many holidays are marked by sharing a meal with family, giving gifts, parading, singing, reminiscing. But there is something about Dr. King's legacy that makes this holiday different, unique. How does one preserve the legacy of a man who once stated that life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others? We celebrate Dr. King's birthday as a day on, not a day off. Dr. King's remarks inspired and informed the many acts of service and community building that will be performed today and every day across Wellington and Palm Beach County. Those hours spent, these acts of service that we perform together with our community partners, young and old, whomever we love, whatever our religion or beliefs, whatever our skin color, whatever our nationality, these acts embody our celebration of Dr. King. And the alliances we forge or renew on this day knit together the fabric of this community. These experiences bridge gaps between and among us, introduce us to those we might not otherwise meet, rekindling human dignity, reminding us of how arbitrary the boundaries are between us. As Dr. King said, people fail to get along because they fear each other. They fear each other because they don't know each other. They don't know each other because they have not communicated with each other. The bridges we build within our community on this day and throughout the year strengthen our safety net, yes, and also generate empathy, respect, peace, and unity among us, which is why we embrace and celebrate a diverse society. Actively engaging with those who are different from us enriches, strengthens, and helps us move forward. Now I would like to introduce our guest speaker, Dr. Terrell Byrd. Dr. Byrd came to South Florida in 1999 to teach at Palm Beach Atlantic University. He was recently named Fellow in Intercultural Engagement, a position that works to promote diversity, racial equality, and equity on the Palm Beach Atlantic University campus. He will discuss his book chapters from the work By This Shall We Be Known, drawing connections between Dr. King's words and the current socio-political climate. Thank you again for being here. We hope you enjoy our program today.